Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my channel. As you can tell from the title of the video, I did recently purchase a used Rolex online, and you're probably watching this video because you're looking to do the exact same thing. And if you're anything like I was, you're terrified. It's it's scary making such an expensive purchase online without being able to see it. Maybe you're questioning the authenticity of the watch, etc. So I wanted to talk through a little bit about like my experience, who I went through to get the watch. This by no means is like a sponsored post or anything. Heck, I wish it was, but no, it is not. This is just my experience, and I had a good one, so I wanted to share it. But yeah, like I really want to let you guys know kind of who I went to in order to get it, some questions that I asked in the beginning to kind of put my mind at ease, and of course I will show you the watch. So I've actually wanted a Rolex for a really long time, and I've done some shopping, looked online, I went to like Bridge, and I just couldn't I couldn't justify spending that kind of money on a watch. The cheapest one I could find that I actually liked was around $10,000, and that just was not in my price range. So I started looking for used Rolexes. I knew I wanted something 26 to 28 millimeters because I have small wrists. I knew that I wanted a Datejust, and Rolex actually ended up stopped making the 26 millimeter Datejust like in the 2000s. So if I was gonna get one, it was gonna have to be older anyway. I actually ended up settling on a 26 millimeter steel and yellow gold lady Datejust, Jubilee bracelet, fluted bezel, white dial, Roman numerals, all of that. Absolutely beautiful. But when I was first looking for it, I had a lot of questions, especially since it's an older one. This one was made in like the 1980s. It looked a little different than the current Rolexes. Like there's some writing on the back of the case, where the serial number is, all of that. So I had to do a lot of digging and a lot of research to actually make sure that it was authentic from the pictures. And of course you can authenticate it once you actually get it in and take it to an authorized dealer. So that's an option as well. A lot of questions that I saw that people were saying that you should ask when buying a used watch are things like, is it all certified parts, all like Rolex parts? What people find when you're getting used watches is people will grab random parts and put them all together, called like Franken watches or whatever the case. So I made sure to ask that. I asked about if there's any noticeable damage that I can't see in the pictures. I made sure to ask if it had been recently serviced and recently polished. Some people feel some type of way about watches getting polished. I don't really get it, but yeah, mine was serviced and it was polished, and I was totally fine with that. I asked about the life on the bracelet, especially with some of the Jubilee bracelets. They tend to separate, and so you want to make sure that it's not too stretched out because you want to be able to get a lot of wear out of it. And then of course just asked about like the warranty with the company and if the shipping was insured. If you're going to ship a $3,000 watch, I need to make sure that I'm completely covered. So this watch did end up costing me a little over $3,000. It was like $3,100, and then the company that I went through, Swiss Watch Expo, ended up having $100 off if you use PayPal. So I used PayPal and got $100 off. But yeah, I will go into kind of what I did to find it. I'll show you the watch, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks guys. So I started my search using Chrono24, which is just like a curator of different watch sellers. You can also sell your watch on there. They're kind of cool because they kind of act as a middleman. So if you want to buy a watch through a seller, they have this thing called buyer protection. So they only have verified sellers on there. And then what happens if you buy a watch through them, they put your money in like an account or like escrow, and they don't actually release it until to the seller until you get your watch in hand. So you know that way you're not going to get scammed. It's an easy way to protect your money. I actually did not end up going through Chrono24. I found my seller through them, and then went directly to the seller. But if you go to buy a watch, you can see all the different companies. They have a ton of watches on there. Of course, Rolex is who I went with. So you can just click on Rolex. You can then like filter however you need to filter. Again, I was looking for like 26 millimeter cases because of my small wrist. So I just went and clicked 26 millimeter, and there was a ton of them. And then you can just do the show the results. And I ended up finding Swiss Watch Expo. So you can look and see where they're based at. You can see how many sales they've done on the site. You can see when they got on the site. So in this case, 2011. You can even click in and see the complete catalog within Chrono 24. So you can click and see all of their current listings of watches, and of course can sort through there as well. Now, they had a ton of great reviews, and I think that was one of the things that like made me comfortable buying from them. So of course I clicked on them, I read through a bunch of them. If you scroll down far enough, you'll be able to see my review. It was pretty glowing. I was pretty extra with it, but it was a great company. And their site works like most sites where you can go through, you can sort by what you want. Of course I went to Rolex because I knew I wanted a Rolex watch. The cool thing is they get watches like every other day. So when I talk to the salesperson, they buy watches like all of the time. So if there's something that you like that's not there, just keep looking, so they may end up having it. Or if there's something that you like that it just sold, keep looking, so it's more likely than not they'll get another version of it. So when you click into a watch that you like, it's going to of course tell you the basics about it, what kind of watch, what size it is, what material it is. You'll be able to see pictures. The good thing about this company versus other used watch companies is they actually show you the serial number. So that way when you get it in hand, you can actually verify that the watch you saw in the pictures is the watch that you actually get. So it'll tell you when it was made, or at least approximate if they don't know. And it'll also tell you if it comes with box and papers, just the box, just the papers, or none of it. Sometimes they don't come with both, which is fine. Mine only came with the box, and I'll actually show you my listing later. But you can also click on the side and click email them, and it'll like link to that specific watch if you wanted to email them. So the watch type I was getting was the 69173 was like the make, I guess you can say, or the model of the watch, or whatever the case may be, and that's just pretty much 26 millimeter Datejust, made around the 1980s. So here's all of the ones. You can click through ones that have sold, so that way you can see what people are buying, and you can kind of see what they frequently get in. So that is actually the exact purchase that's my exact listing. So I wanted to show you guys it. So this is the one I ended up going with. It was exactly what I wanted. I knew I wanted steel and I wanted gold. I knew that I wanted 26 millimeter. I love the Roman numerals on it. And I love that it had the fold over clasp. Some of them had that like hidden clasp to it that I didn't love. So I wanted to make sure I got this one. So as you can see, looks great. They show you the bracelet length too. That way you can make sure if you have bigger wrists that you don't buy something that has a smaller bracelet to it. And so mine only came with the Rolex box, which is perfectly fine for me. But yeah, I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. And when I called them, they were really helpful online. They answered all of my questions, and they pretty much shipped it right away. So I'll show you guys the watch.